So as you can probably tell, everything here is, well, it's quite Italian really, but there's some very cool stuff here. As well as the new car, which I don't think I'm going to get to drive till this afternoon, certainly on the circuit, but you never know. There's also a load of historic cars here, and I've got quite a soft spot for the old 500 because I spent quite a lot of time, in fact, driving my sister's car when I was younger, and yes, I did manage to fold 6'5" for myself into it. Anyway, there's everything here from sort of 500 Sport, which is pretty standard, to up through sort of the SS, through 595, and then there's a full 1000, which is the sort of the slightly longer car. They sound, 1000 sounds quite different actually, but the 695, 595 still got that wonderful sort of, hesitate to say sort of cute sound, but it's absolutely brilliant, and they look so tiny but so cool, all with their engine covers up at the back, which is very cool. Anyway, we'll go and have a look at a few of those, and yeah, press conference was interesting. Highlight for me was the extremely bright red racing shoes sported by Maurizio, who's the head of product for Abarth. Anyway, hopefully we're going to drive the car soon. So I've just had a ride in the 595 SS that's behind me. The chap spoke no English whatsoever, but we did overtake a Punto, which was interesting. But yeah, chap's a lovely little car. Anyway, apparently we can also have a ride in the race car with Mickey Biasio. That's right, two-time world champion Mickey Biasio. So we're going to go and try and do that next. I think he's about to come back now.
It's like a Mickey Mouse of the RAC rally. Yeah.
Just had a ride in the race car with Mickey Biasio, who's a really friendly chap, and really rather handy, I have to say. The car's great. It's kind of, it's not a lot of power. It's quite wet out there, but he's taking some fairly big cuts off the road, which is quite brave considering the tyres. And obviously there's a jump at the end, which is fun. Of course, it's important to remember that Abarth is not all about the 500. It's also about things like this. How beautiful is that? It's a 1000 SP, or 1000 SP, I suppose, and it's still like the 500s. It weighs under 500 kilos dry weight. This is 470 kilos. And it's putting out about 105 horsepower, but it's a beautiful looking thing. Anyway, the 695 Biposto, so 190 PS or horsepower, which is about 187 brake horsepower, 250 Newton meters of torque at 3000 RPM, which is 184 pounds-foot of torque. That's all coming from the 1.4 litre turbocharged engine, which is probably here in the background. It's quite a fruity sounding little thing because they've changed both intake and exhaust with an exhaust flap in it, so that when you press the sport button it opens up a bit more. You can see sort of cool carbon intake airbox. They've also increased the size of the intercooler, and obviously they've got sort of more aero on the back with the little rear wing, and then at the carbon venturi at the back as well. And then obviously the front, you get that sort of very distinctive look, which sort of harks back to the original 695 and 595. And what else to say? This is not actually, I thought it would probably be a sort of a limited run car, so they'd only build, I don't know, 500 or something like that, but apparently not. They expect it to be very popular in Germany and Britain, because obviously we like these sorts of cars. hence why things like the, I suppose, the Megane R26R and now the Trophy R are expected to be big sellers and have been big sellers in the UK in the past. And obviously we're big fans of the Mini GP, so it's a car in that sort of ilk. It is, however, more expensive than any of those if you have the full thing. So a couple of other things I probably ought to mention: performance. So 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, so 0 to 60, 2 miles an hour in 5.9 seconds, and that was one of the guiding principles for the whole project. They wanted the car to reach that, so hence they focus a lot on obviously sort of increasing power. But then also the other thing to mention is the weight, 997 kilos dry weight, but still it's a pretty impressive figure. So there's 0 to 60, I suppose. The other thing is top speed, which is 230 kilometers an hour, which is about 135 miles an hour-ish. As is the exhaust. The exhaust is titanium as well, because it's a Krapovich. So quite a lot of titanium in this car, which is nice. I do like titanium. I probably like it more than carbon fibre, actually. So we're talking in those sort of fetishist terms. And yeah, the other things, the dampers are so they're fully adjustable in terms of height and also for the bump and rebound. So you can put it down an awful lot more. I asked about the steering, which I think is still too light even in its sports setting, and just there's not enough precision there, really. And they say there is still some fine tuning to do apparently. So I wonder how much of that will come through, but fingers crossed. You never know. It might be better on the final production versions. We'll have to see. But there we go. Cute little thing. You've got two choices in terms of, well, you've got a sport button basically, so you either press it or don't. Definitely press it, frankly, because otherwise the steering is just too light. And you definitely want this gear shift as well, because the standard shift is nicely positioned, it's nicely placed up here, but it's just too sort of spongy and indistinct really for such a direct little car. So yeah, it's going to do some laps. Slightly annoying you can't turn the traction control or the ESP all the way off, because it feels a lot of fun, and it's actually surprisingly easy to catch when it does go sideways. You brake, sort of trail brake into a corner, and the tail goes. It's a lot of fun. So there we go. Over the curbs there, sort of deals with the pedal bridges very well, then bounces over the final bit. Just a tiny dab of the clutch as you go through. Being dog box, if you get the revs right, then you can just do it without the clutch at all, but I'm not going to do that today. It's a very noticeably turbocharged engine, so both in terms of lag and then the way it boosts up when it comes in to try to spin on the front wheels. It's quite a fun little circuit, this Varano circuit. Most fun shift is this 34th, I think. Just absolutely flat shifting through. Rear wheel cocking again. I'm very pleased as well that they've put Eagle F1s on this, because well, they're just one of my favourite tyres, and you really do get lovely progression in terms of the breakaway feel of the rubber, so that's good. We like that. So there we go. What else to tell you about it? Well, basic price for the car, so with normal gearbox, none of the carbon stuff, because this has got the carbon pack interior. This has basically got everything on it. So I've got the prices somewhere, but basically it's about £33,000 for the basic car. Then you look at another, it's about another £8,000 for the gearbox. Lots of money. You're looking about, I think it's about 3.5 for the carbon pack. There's also something called the 124 styling pack, which gives the different bonnet and some different add-ons to the outside. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that you get the Pista pack, which is that's about £5,000. So you get this, nice data logger and stuff here, and you get these seats, and you get the belts as well. The seats, you still want to sit a bit lower. I'd like to be just down here, but then I suppose I'd have to change the angle of the steering wheel and stuff as well, but it would be worth it. What else to say? Well, it's a fully spec'd one of these is, I think we worked out, it's about £53,000, which is an awful lot of money. It's practically, it's not supercar money, but in terms of a hot hatch, it's a supercar hot hatch money type of thing, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's a cool thing.